So, my horse gets a lot of supplements. He gets a smart pack for his joints, flaxseed for some omega-3s for his skin and coat, and then gelatin for his hooves. This is the one that I'm most skeptical about. It also ends up being pretty expensive when you don't buy it in bulk. So, looking at this supplement from Custom Collagen, it is pretty tempting. They advertise it as a 44-week supply, but that's for 1 scoop a day. After some math, it would come out to about 80 cents a day for my horse. Custom Collagen claims that this gelatin is 100% soluble protein, which is useful for a horse in heavy work. The main claim that I'm interested in is that it promotes better hoof growth. They also claim that it will improve skin and hair health, which I'm not terribly interested in, so it won't be covered in this video. So, the basis of how gelatin works is that you take the hooves and lower leg bones from cows, and sometimes pigs, and render it down to gelatin. The horse eats that gelatin, and supposedly can use those raw materials to build his own hoof material. But is that how it really works? To figure this out, my first research article focused on if those amino acids in the gelatin were even being absorbed in large enough amounts to be significant, or if they were just being digested like any other protein and used for expensive energy. This study was done on 12 horses. Half the group was fed 60 grams of gelatin, and all of them were exercised every other day. This study went on for 64 days, with blood samples being taken every other day to measure amino acid levels in the blood. In the end, there was an increase in total free amino acids in the horse's blood. Glycine and proline, major components of collagen production, were measurably higher within several days of supplementation. What does that all mean, though? Soluble amino acids increased in the blood, and were therefore available for cartilage and collagen synthesis. But there was no research into whether that actually happens. So, in theory, great! And since it did significantly raise amino acid concentration in the blood, we will give it a pass for the 100% soluble protein claim. It's close enough. A second study shed a bit more light on what actually happened with the consumed gelatin. Keeping in mind this was a human study, patients were given collagen hydrolysate orally. Post-administration, there was a significant increase in extracellular matrix macromolecule production, say that 3 times fast, which in short means that they were building more cartilage in their joints. Best of all, and something that can be difficult to communicate with equine patients, the subjects had a marked reduction in pain from their joints. While this was a human study, general joint physiology is the same, and at the very least proves that this is a safe substance. And if you're worrying about collagen hydrolysate, it's just gelatin. It's a fancy name, so you can sell it for more money. And then I finally found the study I'd been hoping for, and it was disappointing. First of all, the most recent article on hoof health correlated to gelatin intake that I could find was from 1977. So I was hoping for an article that was a little fresher than that, but it'll have to do. For this study, 14 8-month-old Shetland ponies were fed either meals or ad lib, which really just sounds like a great way to get incredibly fat ponies. 4 ponies in the group were fed a range of 30 to 90 grams of gelatin each for the last 56 days of the study. And unfortunately, there was no impact on hoof growth from the gelatin in any metric. So, we're left with tiny chubby horses and a non-pass for our claim for hoof growth. In conclusion, I don't really know. Gelatin is cheap, it's definitely safe, it'll probably promote joint health in horses, even though there's no evidence for hoof growth. I'll still be giving it to my big boy, because, while anecdotal, since he's been taking it, his hooves have been great, and he can always use more joint support. Plus, he seems to like it.